Hey guys, well, I'm wearing the same stuff. If you watched my last video about accuracy, I'm wearing the same stuff because it's only been like 5 minutes. I'm recording this on Saturday. It'll probably get published on Tuesday or something. But I wanted to make this video because it's something that I would like to work on for myself. I watch a fair amount of snooker on YouTube, and I'm a fan of Ronnie O'Sullivan. Maybe all pool players are. I know I certainly am. And it seems to me that Ronnie shoots most of his shots at the same speed, what I would call a firm speed. But he has impeccable cue ball control. And because he's not varying the speed, it seems to me that he must be varying where he hits the cue ball. Where some people like me, like if I were to just roll up a foot, I will shoot it soft and miss because that's not my best speed. An alternative to doing that might be shoot it at my best speed and do that stun run through. I've heard of that. I've just never really messed with it, never been particularly good at it. Because I haven't messed with it, I haven't tried it. But that would be, instead of hitting it hard, way at the top of the cue ball, which isn't going to work. The cue ball didn't stop on its line. Maybe I only hit a quarter of the way between the center and the very top, but with the same speed. So I'm going to try that. I'm going to try my guess at what is a quarter of the way up. And drift forward. I almost made it there. And I want to go a little bit further than I just did. Take the same shot, same speed, and move the cue up a little bit. Now maybe I'm about halfway between the center of the cue ball and this high as I can go. But again, same speed. That stun run through. I was expecting to go further than that, but I think I mentioned 20 seconds ago. I haven't really messed with this that much. I know people do this stun run through stuff, and a lot of people do it very successfully. But I just never have. I got into the habit of controlling my amount of follow by how hard I hit the ball, not where I hit the ball. And sometimes I play pretty decent that way, but not all the time. And I like to have as many arrows in my quiver as I can, so that would be another option. This time we're going to go about 3/5 of the way up. Same speed. I'm trying to basically get to this line, is where I'm basically trying to get. Go about 3/5 of the way up. And diamond and a half too hard. You need to work on it. But I had all those shots at the same speed. But was able to, I don't want to say control where the cue ball stopped, but at least change where the cue ball stopped based on where I hit the cue ball. You get the same thing with draw. With me, if I want to shoot this 15 and draw back to here, I'm going to shoot it at a certain speed. So I'm going to probably shoot it at a slower speed. Yeah. Which is not my best speed. If I hit the cue ball where I just did, but at my best speed, really trying to stroke it, I was expecting to bounce off more, but it goes too far. It goes too far. If I don't want to draw back very much at all, maybe just like an inch for whatever reason, just barely below center. And typically I would go about like change my speed. Don't want to do that. I want to hit it not quite as below center as my best speed. That ball didn't back up. These are the things that I need to work on. The vertical axis stuff is what I need to work on because I just haven't done it. Maybe I haven't seen the need for it for myself. Maybe that's been pretty naive of me to not see the need for it. But still, that is just the way it is. I'm gonna back this ball up just a little bit. I want to work on this kind of thing. And I want to pay attention and try varying where am I hitting the cue ball on the vertical axis in this case, and see how good I can get, if I can get good at all, at controlling how far forward this cue ball follows based on where I hit it at what I consider to be my best speed as far as accuracy goes. I want to go further than that, so I'm just going to go up higher now. Can I get consistent? Can I consistently put the cue ball in this area? My speed is consistent. Is my placement consistent? That looked pretty good. Have I got that mastered? Hell no. The same thing with draw. Shoot the shots at my best speed, where I'm the most accurate, and control the cue ball by varying where I hit it, not by varying the speed, because I vary the speed, I'm not as accurate anymore. And when I shoot top, I kind of have to guess, where am I hitting this cue ball? Because it's the bottom of the tip that's going to hit the cue ball. If I'm up way high with top, it's going to be close to the edge of the tip. If I'm just barely above center with the cue ball, it's not going to be the edge. It's going to be a little bit closer to the middle, but it's still the bottom of the tip, and I can't see it. This ends up being a little bit of a guess as what part is hitting the cue ball. With everything else, you can see it. I can see what's hitting the ball. If I'm going to put bottom on this 10 for some reason, it's going to be the top of the cue ball. Top of the tip, sorry. Top of the tip. If I'm way at the bottom, it's close to the cloth, that's going to be the edge. If I'm up closer to center, it's going to be closer to the middle. But I can still kind of see it. I can look at this and I can make sure, okay, I am below center and I'm about as far below center as I want to be. Shoot it at my best speed and come back like that. If I want to shoot the exact same shot and this time come back further, bring everything down lower, confirm that I'm indeed down lower, put it with my best speed again. Look at that edge. If I can see that edge that's going to hit the cue ball, confirm that. What kind of got me thinking about all this? And now I'm not going to talk about that yet. Not just yet, but I will talk about it. I've talked about vertical axis stuff. That's the thing that I have never really messed with. Varying my cue ball motion, speed, whatever, how far it goes. I haven't really messed with varying that by where I hit the cue ball, just with speed. With side English, it's been different. Don't know why, because I'm weird. But so I have this shot here on these intersections where I have dots on my table I've mentioned before. And I just know, because I've been playing pool for 1,000 years, that if I want to minimize cue ball movement on this shot, I can either hit it really soft and or hit it with right English. Right English allows me to hit the 3 more full, which makes it more of a stop shot, and the English throws the 3 hopefully into the pocket. So I can shoot this with what is in theory my best speed. That was a little bit harder, a little bit softer than my best speed, but kind of minimized cue ball movement a little bit. That was the right English. If I want to shoot the same shot at that same speed with center ball, then cue ball comes over here, goes further. I've done this. I do this. I vary my position along the horizontal axis to control where the cue ball goes. If I want to really get the cue ball to move as much as it can, then I'm going to shoot left English on the shot. Left English on the shot, which makes me kind of overcut the 9, a little bit of a thinner hit on the 9, so the cue ball's got more energy, is going to travel more, and then the left English spin throws the 9 back into the pocket. You know, in theory, hopefully, and all that. Inside English is not my favorite thing. I'll hit this to come over and back out like that. I'm hitting all these at the same speed. To me, that's pretty cool. I know that I can vary where the cue ball goes. I knew I could with left, right. Top, bottom, I kind of knew I could, but I just have never really messed with it. But what got me kind of interested in this was on Thursday, I wasn't shooting pretty well, and I do have vision issues, but Tony's trying to give me lessons, and he doesn't know I have vision issues. He should. I've told him before. What was happening to me was, now I'm not going to try to make this ball, okay? I'm hoping it's lined up correctly. What I was noticing was, if I want to shoot center on this ball, to me, if I really look at it, I'm off to the right of center. Not a lot, but just a little bit. If I want to put right English on this ball, I've got right English on the ball. What was happening was, if I want to put left English on the ball, if I want to put left English on this, what I was noticing was that I wasn't getting very much left English. And if I really start paying attention, remember I was just talking about the edge of the tips and stuff? If I shoot left English on the shot, the right edge of my tip is about right on the vertical axis. So it's like I'm not getting any left English. I've kind of known this, but not really explored what's going on. It is a visual defect that I have because of the LASIK that I've had, where I don't see certain shots the correct way. If I want to put real left English on this ball, and I look at the right tip, the right side of my tip, where is that hitting the cue ball? If I really want to do that, my brain is telling me I am getting ready to miscue because of the cue that I see. The cue that I see is way the hell out here. And that's miscue territory. But if I just focus on that edge of the tip that's going to hit, it's not an issue. I'm not worried about miscuing. With right English, this is not a thing. I'm not concerned about miscuing if I'm way out to the right. The stick looks fine. With left English, no, the stick looks too far this way, but it's not. It's an optical illusion. I can see the distance with this eye. I can see close with this eye. There's very little overlap between the two. Old man, all that stuff. So, yeah, that kind of sucks. I just have to watch it. And I'm trying to decide, do I want to try to fix it? My inner pool player is used to that. Is used to left English not being as powerful as right English for me. For probably at least the last, 13 years since I got LASIK. 11 years, sorry. My inner pool player is used to left English not being as powerful because I'm almost on the vertical axis instead of over here where I should be for real left English. If I shoot this shot with right English is right English. And I get that. But left English, is my inner pool player is used to that just not being as good. It's not like I've ever really like worried about it or anything. It's just been the way it is. It's just been the way it is. And I'll show you in a second how. So again, I'm on the vertical axis. The right edge of my tip is on the vertical axis. That's wrong. Don't want to fix it and screw up, my 11 years of experience in getting used to shit. Don't want to screw it up for the sake of having consistency between left and right spin. Part of me does, part of me doesn't. Part of me doesn't want to screw anything up. But another part is like, I screwed up the silts. Get over on the left side. Even though it looks like I'm getting ready to miscue, get over here. Watch the right side of that tip. Make sure that's not in miscue territory. I threw a little bit too much. And that's the thing I was talking about, messing things up. My inner pool players not used to getting that much throw on left English. And because I just put real left English on it, for one of the very few times, now all of a sudden I'm putting real left English on it. What's up with that? That's what my inner pool player's saying. Why are you doing that, Dave? And do I want to have to try to recalibrate? Like I said, and that time I overcompensated. So if I was going to make some kind of an adjustment to try to fix this, it would mess up my game for a while, and maybe it would come back better than ever. That would be the hope. But maybe it would never come back. Maybe it would take another 11 years before it got decent again. Don't know. But this shot I'm not going to try to make. I just want to show some spin stuff. I remember reading, or now maybe a magazine article, something a long time ago. Maybe it was on YouTube. I don't think it was that recent. But it was basically that, like, a top pro guy can put side spin on a cue ball and make it set and spin for 20 seconds. That was the number that I heard. So, were I a top pro guy, I could put right English on this ball and make that spin for 20 seconds. I cannot make it spin for 20 seconds. 10 to 15. Sometimes I'm closer to 15. I was talking about this in a video I made for myself the other day. That would be a pretty decent gauge for me to be able to tell how good am I stroking the ball. How long is the cue ball spinning? So I was just messing with this and right English, right English, right English. The ball's going to spin longer this time. Yeah, I'm not trying to make the object ball. It's going to spin longer. It's not going to spin for 20 seconds or whatever. But then I was like, okay, now I'm going to try left English. This is before I've really noticed this thing I was just talking about where I'm really on the vertical axis. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to load this ball up with left English. It didn't do anything. It didn't spin. It didn't do jack shit. I'm like, well, okay, that sucks. I must have hit it bad. And I did it again. It barely spinning, barely spinning. Trying to actually stop the cue ball. Because that's what's supposed to happen here. To get it to sit and spin. What? Second half? So I was like, hey, something's wrong, Dave. Figure out what's wrong. And what's wrong is the stuff I was talking about. If I look at that edge of the tip, that is what's actually hitting the cue ball with my left English, which is the right edge of the tip. It wasn't anywhere near the left side of the cue ball. It was just barely to my left of the vertical axis. So, of course, I'm not getting any freaking spin compared to my right English. So I said, okay, let's move over. Oh shit, I'm going to miscue. But if I really pay attention to that right edge, I'm not going to miscue. If I look at the stick, in my view of the stick, in this case, I'm going to miscue. But if I look at the tip, which is all that's important when using side spin. That is all that's important. Is that side of the tip that's going to hit it. Then I can spin it. It's a decent amount. I bet if I had polished balls and brand new cloth, I might be able to get to 20 sometimes, 20 seconds. Don't know that for a fact, but it's good. My first instinct is left English. There it is. No, that's not it. That is maybe an eighth of an inch of left English. If that's what I wanted, great. But that's not what I want. What I want is maximum left English on the shot. Watch that tip. I let the ball spin, 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 spin. I don't know how to do timers in DaVinci Resolve, which is my video editor. Maybe that hit 20 seconds. I doubt it. Probably more like 15. But this is the little exercise that I was doing the other day that convinced me that not only is my initial tendency, like I showed, is to go a little bit to the right. My initial thing, okay, center ball, but if I really look at it, no, it's a little bit to the right. Everything is going a little bit to the right. Left English is going a little bit to the right of where I wanted it to be. Still left English, which is barely. Right English is even further to the right, so I can get like super right English. And I have to watch the tip. Right English, I just have to watch the left side of the tip. Make sure it's not in miscue territory. And that really hasn't been a problem for me with either left or right spin miscuing. I miscue on draw, trying to really stroke the draw shot. But I think probably a lot of people are like that. I think it's interesting that I can look at this and go, well, hell, that's left English. But if I really look at it and look at the edge of the tip, yeah, it's damn near vertical axis. To get left English, I have to move over here. And now it looks like I'm going to miscue. If I look at the stick, it looks like I'm getting ready to miscue. But if I look at the tip, the right side of the tip, I'm not going to miscue. Optical illusion. My fault. Because the eyes are different and because I'm old. But it is an issue, and at least I am now, I believe, pretty close to fully aware of it. And I can make the decision, do I want to try to fix it? Or do I just want to just deal with the fact that my left English is not as powerful as my right English is? Because again, for at least 11 years, that's the way things have been for me. So do I want to break that and work on it, maybe make things worse until they maybe get better again? Or do I just want to deal with it? I don't know. We'll find out. Thanks, guys.